Hey everybody, this is Lord Magicus. This week we're going to play some Simic Merfolk in Legacy, and we also have with us this week ArmchairGeneral, who has been on here before, and we've been playing Dark Souls, but we'll be starting that back up again soon. How's it going?
Pretty alright. Yeah, no, the Dark Souls thing weighing on the power source. You know how that is.
Yeah, well, so like anybody who saw our last Dark Souls stream, like it was on a day when it was like 100 degrees in his room, and the power brick fried. So he needs to get he needs a new one, and we'll start that. But in the meantime, I've been playing Final Fantasy V with our other friend Yarok the Gamer. So we're almost through that, but we're getting close to the point where we're gonna try to have to kill Omega. So we'll see how that goes. We'll be doing that. Streaming that tonight, actually, on on Twitch. So it's 6 o'clock. Go check that out. And Thursday, I'm going to be on Drunken Peasants again. So if you want something that's not magic related to unwind with, come check that out. That should be around 9 o'clock Eastern. So
is this where I self-plug the fact that I stream things other than Magic too?
Yes, you can do that. Go right ahead, and I will put your link in the description as well.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a variety streamer. I play a bit of basically everything. I play Man-Eater, I play Legends of Runeterra, Pauper Magic, because that's all I can afford, and Dark Souls with this idiot. Love you.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna play Magic on a budget, you can also play Penny Dreadful. I highly recommend that format.
It's a great format, but the issue for me is scheduling with my job.
Yeah, that's true. You can run the leagues whenever you want, so there is that.
I don't like the league format.
Well, it depends. Like, so anybody on this channel knows I've been doing these leagues for a while because I like playing specifically with the regular constructed formats. I like testing my deck against other very strong decks, so I don't usually play like a lot of queues or anything with it. Penny Dreadful though also has actual tournaments, so that's a good replacement for the leagues. It's just the scheduling sucks with his job. So.
And then, they all start an hour before I get off of work.
Oh, what? You know what? Penny Dreadful 500 is this next Saturday, isn't it? I think.
Yup.
Yeah, so there's going to be a huge 500 ticks prizes event that's going for free. So.
Yeah, grand prize is 200, I think.
Merfolk is a deck in the format now, so if you're interested, you could go play it for free and potentially win 100 ticks or some shit.
So, zombies are a thing again. What else was there that was really good? I think Hermit. The one that mills yourself out.
Hermit Druid? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's Hermit Druid.
I think that. I've never actually played that card, but yeah.
Heritage Hermit?
No. Alright. But
we know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah. But we're not playing that this week. But I'm just letting everybody know, if you care about that stuff, if you plan on a budget, that is a fantastic way to try to win yourself some free stuff and have fun. So
it's a great way to build your collection too, because Card Hoarders does free rentals for under $5.
Yeah. Card Hoarders and Mana Traders also does free rentals for I think up to $7 too. So you can even combine them sometimes and just have up to $12 of free shit.
But with Penny Dreadful, you'll never go above 3.
You never will unless it's something like Sunken Ruins that spikes up to $1.50 for some stupid reason. That happened once, but that basically is not a thing to worry about. So we're gonna play. Yeah, we're playing Legacy this week, so I guess we should look at and talk about this deck quick.
I suppose.
Yeah, so we don't have Chalice of the Void in here at all, if you notice.
I did.
Instead, we're just gonna focus on playing a ridiculously aggro list, and the problem that we've had with that before is that Curse Catcher's not a very good aggro card. However, Tide Shaper is a much better aggro card. So this is one of the huge upgrades that we got to Modern, and I want to try it in Legacy because I think this card actually has the potential to be way better in this format. Because it's a 1 mana.
So many blue decks.
Yeah, it's a 1 mana 2/2 almost all the time. At least, or much more of the time than it is in Modern, I should say.
Yeah. Unless you're playing against me, at which point you're oh, Gobos!
Yeah, it's okay, what are you going to go up against? Bant, go up against Delver, you go up against Ninjas. There's a ton of decks that are just playing islands in there. So, Tide Shaper, very often, you just play it for 1 mana and it's already a 2/2. But it has some extra added functionality here that you can turn off annoying lands. if you're up against like the lands deck, you have a way to beat Glacial Chasm in the main deck, and it's uncounterable too, so that's awesome. Yeah, you can, against like some of like say the Maverick decks or like Death and Taxes, you can actually give yourself Island Walk to Alpha Strike them, even though they don't play islands in their deck. So this is we've never had a Spreading Seas effect really in the Merfolk deck in Legacy, so gives us some strong functionality there. I mean, it's still blue, so you can pitch it to Force if you need to, but yeah, and now we have 8 1-drops to put into play, plus the 4 Aether Vial, so we should be able to curve out pretty well with this deck now. Kumena Speaker, we're going to play Simic because I want to play the aggressive curve here. Kumena Speaker gives us those other 4 1-drops. 1 mana 2/2s, I mean, that's just what it's for, so we have...
there was something I did want to ask, though. What do we do against lands? Specifically, Merit Lodge stuff.
We pray. That's what we do. We have
some actual plan?
We have Brazen Borrowers in the main deck, and we have Merfolk Tricksters to try to buy us some time. We also have Karakas in the sideboard, which we can bring in against Merit Lodge as well. But lands is not usually a good matchup for us anyway. I mean, we have a little bit of hedge against it, but we're just gonna have to hope that we don't see it too much. So
okay. That was something I was wondering while I was looking at the list. That's
we're not totally shields down against that deck, but like that deck has always been a problem for us, and it's not like that's going to change very much.
Is our best plan literally to try and Tide Shaper their insert threat here?
Well, you can Tide Shaper a land, like maybe the Thespian stage or something if you do it like before. Yeah, before they play the Dark Depths, but like once it's in play, you're fucked.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and they, like a lot of these decks will have removal for this, so like that's not going to slow them down much. It's just it is a way to beat stuff like Glacial Chasm locks against like the actual lands deck versus like Turbo Depths probably plays like more actual removal in it. I think they have stuff like Abrupt Decay in it, so sometimes like Fatal Push is that sort of stuff. So like they can remove it easier, whereas like I think regular lands is mostly playing like Punishing Fire, which you can get out of range of if you get enough lords in play quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have to worry about stuff like Tabernacle, which I believe this thing will also turn off as well. If I understand this correctly with how this works, so that is nice there. So it gives us some more options to work with. But yeah,
what other matchups are you worried about?
What matchups am I worried about? Well, that's the thing. I haven't been playing Legacy for a while, so I need to like actually test against some of this stuff. Okay, it's changed a lot. Like now, the premier Delver deck for quite a while was like Teamer Delver, where now it's like blue-red Delver. Is like, yeah,
I thought it was Rug for a while.
Well, that is Teamer. That's the same thing.
Okay. Well, no, yeah, you're right. I'm stupid.
Yeah. Well, the audience is. This is not the first time they should be learning this.
I mean, I'm friends with you. That was already a strike against me.
Yes, this is fair. So, but yeah, the blue-red Delver deck has gotten ridiculously powerful because of the additions of Dragon's Rage Channeler and Ragavan, and also they even are replacing their other Delvey threats with Murktide Regent now too. So it's one of the reasons.
I keep hearing that card, but I don't know what it does.
Murktide
I keep
Regent.
To look it up.
Okay. Let me see here. It's very, very strong. All right.
Sounds like a fishy.
It is not, actually. Here you go. So if you haven't seen it, it's a 7-mana creature. It has Delve for 5 here. So for basically for 2 mana, they have a 3/3 flyer, but it gets a +1/+1 counter for each instant sorcery that it exiles. And afterwards, whenever an instant or sorcery leaves their graveyard, they put a +1/+1 counter on it.
That's stupid. Who printed this?
Well, it's dominating in Modern, and now it's also dominating in Legacy. This card's ridiculously strong.
Emmett Rosewater?
Hey, look, I don't print the cards. I probably wouldn't have printed this, but what do I know?
Tell me it's at least a mythic.
Yeah, it's a mythic. Well, obviously, it has to be so that they can sell more fucking packs of Modern Horizons.
Well, yeah, obviously. But I just wanted to make sure that they weren't full retard and were like, nah, it's just
no, we're not going to use that word. Okay. Yeah, so but blue-red Delver's like ridiculously strong at the moment. They have a lot of powerful threats. So One of the reasons I don't want to play Chalice right now is because they like the blue-red deck has a lot of answers they can play to Chalice. With like Abrades and there's fuck. I can't think of the other ones. There's other ones that they can play that just destroy like a bunch of artifacts at the same time. Like they have answers to it in their deck, and instead I think that the card I'd really like to try playing is Gut Shot. And one of the reasons that we haven't really been able to test this card very much is because Gut Shot is a 1-mana spell, and we normally are trying to play Chalice on 1. However, Gut Shot for 0 mana will kill like 3 of the 4 most important threats in the Delver deck. It kills Delver, kills Ragavan, and it kills Dragon's Rage Channeler as long as you kill it early enough.
Pre-Delirium.
Yeah. So, and it costs 0 mana, so like you can actually play it like when you are, on the draw and they go like Ragavan or Delver or whatever pass. Just kill.
You can play around Days turn 1 with it too. Oddly enough.
Yeah, you can, or you can also play it in their turn, like, and just play around like Force of Negation. Either way. But like they don't want to have to be forcing shit like this. It's terrible for them.
It's really a feels bad moment.
It just gives us more ways to stop things like Ragavan from just hitting us in turn 1, where it's like we can play a creature and also Gut Shot in turn 1, which is nice.
So yeah, it lets us have some control aspects while keeping up our aggro plans.
Yeah, the only thing that this doesn't hit is like the Murktide Regent. So we have 3 Borrowers in the main deck, which we can still bounce stuff like Merit Lodge, or at least try to anyway. We can still bounce like Ensnaring Bridges with it. And yeah, it bounces Murktide, which is helpful. So Borrower is great, and there's always the possibility you play it as a 3/1 flying guy to block like Channeler or Delver. So that, or even maybe chump block Murktide. So Borrower is a very good card against them. I mean, sure, they're gonna have a bunch of removal, but the idea is we're trying to play enough stuff where they don't have enough removal for everything. So
that's fair.
And then that's also why I'm not playing a lot of... I don't have Mutavaults in here at all. I'm just playing a bunch of basic islands because I want some immunity to Wasteland. And, Tropical Islands, we have to have it for Kumena Speaker. So, you don't necessarily need 4 of these. Like, you could probably drop one and play, like, either another island or another fetch land. But it's just... You should have, like, probably at least 3 just so you can play them with Kumena Speaker turn 1. Yeah.
I think there's an argument for having a single one of Forest.
You could do that, but I don't feel the need to do that, so it's not
maybe if it was
insane.
A heavier Wasteland meta.
Yeah, like it's not insane to want to do that. You'd have to play like all Misty Rainforest then, but like it's doable. But I don't think that we need to go there just yet. Yeah, so basically we're just trying to keep the curve extremely low. The only 3-drop really we're playing as Borrower, which is really more for the spell side than a creature late in the game, and then True-Name Nemesis. There have been some people testing Svelun as a split with this, and I think that's also okay, but True-Name is the one that's historically like the hardest to deal with. Yeah, like Delver has like no answer to this once it resolves, so like they have to just race it at that point. So
yeah, especially since board wipes have just become a lot less common, and even Council's Judgment hasn't been being played much. It's been replaced largely by Prismatic.
Well, I think Plague Engineer is not as prevalent as it was before because Delver's threats are very diversified, and it's like one of the most popular decks now. It's got a pretty obscene meta percentage at the moment, so like there's still Plague Engineers running around, but I don't think there's as many as there were. And, like, we have more lords in here to keep it alive, too, so the chances that it survives are probably a little bit higher. It's just, but, yeah, like I said, this is really good against racing. Like, it's always good against, like, the green decks because you need something that can block, like, Knight of the Reliquary or, a Batter Skull or something. But it's also good against, like, Delver because they have, like, no interaction for this card. Yeah, in the sideboard, we're just, like I said, we're playing a bunch of removal cards. So we have, like, Dismember, we have Gut Shot. They're good against slightly different things, but there's a lot of overlap. Some extra Force of Negations for the combo decks. And I'm also playing Blue Elemental Blast. This is something we haven't ever been able to really try because of Chalice. It counters a red spell or destroys a red permanent. It's the same thing as Hydro Blast. I chose this one because it's the one I didn't have to actually go and buy for 1 cent, so I already happen to own these. there is in our deck. There's not going to be any difference, but in if you're playing a prowess deck, then there's technically a difference between them, but it's essentially irrelevant. So, yeah, we're going to play with this because it can actually be really good against Delver because it blows up some of their threats and also counters all their removal spells. So it's kind of nice. Against like the Storm deck, it counters Burning Wish, which is really important. And against like Sneak and Show, you can counter Sneak Attack. Yeah, that's the one.
I was just thinking, wouldn't Pyroblast or Elemental Blast be better in most of those matchups you just listed?
Maybe, but I don't have red mana, so.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But it's not just that. So like it has application against a lot of those cards. Like Burning Wish, countering that is a big deal because we also don't have Chalice here anymore. But
yeah, so your Storm matchup isn't as good as it once was.
No, but it's fine. Like I think we'll just have to live with it and just hope that the 10 counter spells plus a clock are going to be good enough to get there. But also, one of the other decks that's actually been pretty big lately is the red prison decks. So they're playing stuff like Blood Moons and Chandras and stuff, and like Blue Elemental Blast counters like every single thing in their deck or destroys anything that they play. So
you know what else has been stupidly big lately, and I don't understand why? The freaking Junda Madness deck.
You know what? I haven't actually like seen that deck yet, but like I have heard that deck is picked up, so that will be an interesting thing to come across if we find it in this league.
Yeah, because like I don't think Grafdiggers doesn't even stop it.
No. Well, we're gonna keep Relic here for the Bant deck if we go up against Uro because we need it for like that, and also to stop like Terminus looping and all that nonsense. Actually, Relic can come in against the Delver deck too because it turns off Dragon's Rage Channeler and Murktide a little bit. And then Cage, it's just another hedge against like Reanimator and Hogak. So, I'm hoping this is gonna work. Like I said, it's been a while since I played Legacy, but this looks like an interesting way to try it. So we're gonna give this a shot and see how it goes. I know we went a little bit long on the intro today. But we were talking about a bunch of stuff, so.
Right, well, maybe we'll get that that match 1 win that we got last time.
Oh God, no! all right, let's go get into this league. Okay.
Dingus.
Hey, no, we're good. I hit the record button, so we're on here. We won the die roll. We're going first. Yeah, what everybody here missed is that we just spent like almost 4 minutes waiting for this, so. I don't know if I can keep this. We're on the play, but we only have 1 land, and like, I think
you have a play and a Force of Negation and a Force of Will. Like, you would need to hit another land.
This is not much better, but I guess I'm keeping this.
I guess Trop play Karametro or Kumenas or whatever. Not Karametro, Kumenas.
Yeah, we're gonna play Kumena Speaker.
Yeah, because you want to keep up the Tide Shaper for Force, right?
Yeah. Alright. We probably force, like, any threat. Let's see. Delta, snow-covered islands, okay. Ponder, alright. So, this could be Storm, this could be, like... Oh, this tells us basically nothing, but... I mean...
Sneak and Show and Storm are the 2 bigger ones that play Ponder, though.
Yeah.
Well, let me phrase that. That play Polluted Delta Ponder. Yep, now it's going.
Okay, well... That makes me think that it's probably Storm.
That's not bad.
No, that's not at all. We just have to hope this little force is going to get the job done.
The little force that could.
You're fucking dazing my Master of the Pearl Tribe. This has to be, like, show and tell, right?
Yeah. It's the only thing I could think of.
Storm is not a daze deck.
Not that I know of.
But I can't afford to force that because I still think this might be combo.
Oh, it's definitely some form of combo.
Nobody
plays Lotus Petal fair.
Yeah, I am feeling like this is a show and tell deck. That's my operating assumption right now.
They chose not to shuffle.
Alright, we just want to draw more creatures. Well,
that's not terrible.
It's something to pitch to Tideshaper at least.
You mean to pitch to the other Force of Will?
Yeah. Alright, I guess...
I think we're better off just keeping both Forces and the Tideshaper in hand, because the redundancy of having a second Force is better for us.
No, I think we need a clock, actually. This is another 2 damage a turn. I am much more concerned about actually having a way to win the game. We just went from 8 turns to 4 turns.
Why are these all basics? Are they randomly high tide?
I guess that's possible too. It could be high tide. But I haven't played against that deck in forever, so...
I would have to respect it.
I don't know. We'll find out one way or another, but... Yeah, like I said, we have to have a clock, and like I think the Tideshaper has to be a creature here. The fuck are they doing? Just ponder, or preordain, preordain, preordain?
Yeah, that seems to be what they're doing. They're just cantripping for days.
It looks like they've just dug... I'm guessing they probably stacked preordain into preordain on their deck, so...
They lotus petals to get a lotus petal.
It's kind of weird. Alright, well see, this is good. Yeah, daze this bitch.
3-turn clock? No, 2-turn?
Force of Will pitching Force of Will?
Let it go.
Yeah, okay. They only have 2 cards left, which means if they are like a show and tell deck, then Force is just gonna get there.
Mm-hmm. And if they're high tide, they need to have the nuttiest draw ever.
No, well, I don't think they're high. I think this could be maybe the Echo of Eon's deck or something. Probably not. That could be high tide, I guess. Alright, creatures. That's what we want. We just want creatures right now. Alright, well...
I keep the snow covered in hand just to bluff.
No, well, I want to play it because if I draw another land next turn, then I could maybe hardcast Force of Will if I need to for some reason.
That's true. It's so weird to even consider that an option.
Yeah. Well, they can't crack the fetch or they die, so...
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
No, they just... Okay.
They gave up.
So we don't actually know how they win.
No, they just kept drawing cards. Okay, that's fine. So I feel like this is a match where Force of Negation is probably good here.
I was also possibly thinking Grafdiggers, but I'm not sure.
We don't know what they're doing, but I'm guessing True-Name Nemesis is probably really slow for whatever the hell's going on, or maybe Brazen Borrower.
No, Brazen's fine, I think.
I guess maybe because it has Flash, like that might be worth it.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, if they are show and tell, you can technically bounce the Bristle.
That's possible. I'm trying to think. If I take out True-Name, like I think it's correct to take out True-Name. They didn't show us any red spell, so I don't think Blue Elemental Blast does anything. But...
I almost want Karakas, but if they're not show and tell, it's just useless.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe Grafdigger's Cage. I don't know if that's helpful or not, or if the Relic is maybe better.
Well, the Relic can cantrip at worst, so let's go with that because it's safer.
Well, okay, so I'm thinking if it's an Echo deck, then Grafdigger's Cage actually is good because it means they can't flash it back.
Yeah.
But if it's like regular, like if it's like a high tide deck, then Relic might be better because I think, what is it, Time Spiral shuffles?
Yeah, it shuffles your yard back in.
I mean, we could also just keep in 2 True Names, but...
Well, I'm thinking that Relic is probably the least bad option because at worst, you crack it to draw a card.
Yeah, we don't actually know what they're up to here. I mean,
exactly.
we could just keep True Name because it's still a blue card and we can still play it and attack with it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep 2 of these, I'm thinking. And if they give us a reason to like go to these, then maybe we will. But I don't know.
We need to know what they're doing first.
Yeah, we don't have a good plan for what they're doing, but clearly, like, they just had a bunch of air. Oh fuck, not this again.
I would actually keep
this.
that.
Well, you know what? This is okay, but here's the problem: it doesn't have any interaction. Like,
no, I get that. But
I think
that's 3/1/1s for one.
yeah, but if we're playing a 1/1 for like 3 turns in a row, we're probably just dying.
Or 3/2/2s, I meant.
I think that we can do a little bit better than this. I'm willing to mulligan
Did they
once.
keep?
They did.
Yeah, they kept. So
I'm
yeah,
much
that's
more. I'm much happier with this
I guess we took the snow cover
because I can get a
drop.
with that. Yeah.
Well, we should probably go snow covered then drop.
Oh yeah, I definitely
around,
will.
Play around the potential wasteland, right? Even though they probably don't run it.
Doubt that wasteland's a thing, but I would just hold the polluted delta back just because I don't want to lose life if I don't have to.
Mm.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not good though. It's like the least useful card we probably could hit.
Well, it still pitches to force if we need it, but
true.
We have a bunch of flash threats, which is nice.
It's weird, is what it is.
So Misty, what are we seeing here? The thing is, we probably want to play things with flash because we want to try to play around days.
Okay, can you just ask them like to tell us what they are after the game is over? Because this is actually bothering me at this point.
Well, they're probably not going to tell us because usually if a combo deck loses 2 games in a row like that, they just like rage can just close the game. So
that's true.
I never presume that my opponent is going to tell me anything even after a game's over. Sometimes
I do, but I'm nice.
Well, sometimes people will chat with you while you're playing, and then I'll engage. But like, I try not to press while we're actually playing because some people just do not respond well. So they chose to shuffle with the first one, and they chose not to shuffle with the second one. So the second ponder seems to be the one that did the trick.
I also just noticed their name.
Yeah, not a bad name.
Very good name.
I think we're just going to pass here, and I'll flash in a Trickster. So like I said, in case I need to cast this Force of Will, I want to make sure I don't get got by days. I don't know what they're up to, but I want to play around days if I can. Oh,
holy
so
shit, it's
they
not
are
a basic island.
No, they're okay, so this definitely looks like a show and tell deck now. So we might be bringing in that blue elemental blast after all.
Could still technically be Storm.
I don't think so.
They run Volcanic Island.
There's way too many basic lands here for this to be Storm.
Eh. Yeah, it's probably Storm. You actually have a phenomenal hand against Show and Tell.
That's pretty good too. Alright.
I think we just slammed Lord of Atlantis here.
I actually agree with that. If they want to daze it, that's fine. It just makes it more likely that they're not going to have protection for themselves next turn.
It also messes up their own tempo.
I mean, they could have, like, Pyroblast. So. But we still have 2 forces, so even if they have days, like, we're not dead.
I love the fact that, like, if they show... Yeah, this is Show and Tell.
It's happening.
You're just going to Trickster it into the field, aren't you?
Okay, well...
Wait, hold on. Let me do that.
No, we have to try... We're going to hold the Trickster, but what we have to do here is try to counter the Show and Tell because they might use it to put either Omniscience or Sneak Attack into play.
I guess we counter this pitching the Brazen?
We'll pitch the Lord or the Master first. And then I think if we have to pitch something, we'll pitch the Borrower and then hope the Trickster's fine. Alright.
So 4 unknowns in hand.
Okay, well
that's good.
They didn't have more protection, so that's good. So
that's fantastic.
We'll hold that up.
They're currently on a 3-turn clock, and another Merfolk Trickster doesn't change the clock.
Correct. But also, if for some reason they put Emrakul into play, I could just cast Trickster to stop it, so...
How would they even get it to play past the Force of Negation, though?
Probably they are not. See, I fucking called this that they're a show and tell.
I mean, it was the most likely answer, but I was still playing Devil's Advocate.
Alright, what are they going to do? Go for...
That's a sneak attack.
We have to force this.
No, I'm more confused why they didn't play an island first.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because they could have floated the city, played with the island. Oh, no, they only have one red source. That's why, okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, they probably were going to show and tell that into play.
Yeah.
So here they can't get Gristlebrand to be a thing.
Yeah, Gristlebrand no longer wins them the game. It needs to specifically be Emrakul. And it specifically has to be via sneak attack.
Mm-hmm. Well, a Gristlebrand could theoretically still be alright. No, we got this. There we go. We win.
Well, no, Gristlebrand because, specifically because you have Island Wall. That's why I was saying.
Well, no, they would still gain the life so they could draw 7 cards and then hope that they find some way to deal with this. But nope, not today, Satan. Just the 8 force plan was good enough here. And, yeah.
No, the don't get to play game 1, then 4 force plan.
Yeah, and I mean, we could have easily brought in this to Outlook for game 3 if we needed to, so I think that was fine. Because they definitely are bringing in, like, Pyroblast, so... There we go. We won our first round here. Yeah, the sneak attack show and tell deck is usually pretty good for Merfolk. Yeah, like Chalice is not like amazing against this deck, but like the force plan is really good here. So, and I think the blue elemental blast is probably helpful too, because like it counters half their combo and like some of their protection, so that's nice. So that's all I got to say for today. So everybody, please leave thumbs up on the video. I need your thumbs up so badly. You have no idea. There's like a shortage on likes and or we're hurting here. All right, we need all the thumbs up we can get so we can stay afloat.
Need views even more.
Yeah, leave some nice comments. All right, I want to hear what you have to say. All right, everybody.
Go beat up your friends to watch.
That's all we got for today. Take it easy, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.